Marvel Strike Force has been changing at an incredible rate. We have a multitude of characters and teams that we're supposed to be building, and many individuals ask the question, well, how are we supposed to do this? How are we supposed to build these characters? How are we supposed to build these teams? Over the past couple of months, there has been 4 main teams that Marvel Strike Force has given us various characters for. So we see our Symbiote Six, our Amazing Avengers, Timeless Eternals, and the Dread team. Now, each team has a total of 5 members. There's 4 teams, 5 members, that's 20 characters. If we are indeed, though, following the free-to-play economy, we know that we can only build 5 characters a month. Because of that, we have to be choosy and build things in the proper order, and we're going to talk about that in today's video. We'll be following our new player account for this. You see, we've been logged in for 154 days, and very recently, we hit level 100. One of the newest changes to Marvel Strike Force is the way certain characters are released. Very regularly, we have these towers. So we see Spider-Man Tower Descent, as well as the Breaker event Scorpion. What we want to do is make sure that we participate in those events to unlock the character. In this case, here's my Scorpion. We did indeed build him up. The other character that's being unlocked in the Spider-Man Descent Tower is Kingo. We unlocked him, but in this case, I did not build him up. We'll go into a little bit more about why that is in a moment. The main point is when those events happen, do what you can to unlock the character. If you know you're going to be running short on time, perhaps you don't go for the highest score. Just pick a area of difficulty that you can easily clear to make sure you get the character unlocked. Once these events happen, those characters go away. They will be returning. So we have heard that at the end of next week, Quicksilver Symbiote will be returning. But again, those characters are off limits for a while the rotation of special unlock characters goes by. So when those events happen, we want to prioritize unlocking the character. That doesn't necessarily mean, though, that you have to build them. Right now, we have 2 varieties of characters we should be working on. It's either going to be the Symbiote 6 or the Amazing Avengers. If we've been playing the game for a couple of months, then the majority of us should have these Symbiote 6 characters unlocked. We see that Toxin is the featured character here inside of the Strike Pass. Again, by the time of this video, this might be all done, but this is one of the ways that this character is being released free to play. We're also being awarded Riot character shards in the brand new day celebration event. And there are more Toxin shards in the Breaker of Nature month 1 event. So let's just do our best, complete the objectives as we can, and unlock the characters as time allows. There are 3 points to consider with this team. 1, do I have null? So you can see on this account, we don't have null unlocked. We should not build characters to unlock null. Once again, we can only build 5 characters a month. If I was to spend some of my resources to build those other characters just to unlock him, that's going to put me behind. The Symbiote 6 team is a strong team. We can get away with subbing one of the members out. And so then if we're not going to build null, we just know that we're going to sub that member out. Second, do we have Quicksilver Symbiote? If so, then we're just going to keep going through our events. We're not going to pay too much more attention to this team. We're just going to keep going through our events, keep getting character shards as we do, and progress our characters up that way. If we do not have Quicksilver Symbiote, we just want to make sure that we pick him up when his event comes back on the scene, which I believe is next Friday. In addition, then, if we don't have Quicksilver Symbiote, then we probably should not focus on building this team right now. Just focus on getting the character shards as appropriate, wait for Quicksilver Symbiote to come out, and then we have to decide whether to pivot to build this entire team or not. You can always hit me up on Discord, Gideon's Gate. It's right there in the description below, and we can talk about whether or not that would be a good or bad thing to do. This is an arena team, very strong team. This might be one of the few cases where I would suggest, yes, you should build this team, even though you would be sacrificing another team down the line. But I would not do that until you have that opportunity to activate at least all 4 of these main characters. Most of us will be in the position here. Our Symbiote team will already be taken care of, and we should be working on our Amazing Avengers. The Amazing Avengers are a raid team. Raid teams are incredibly important. There is a lot of controversy in the community right now as to whether or not we should build the team. Can we skip it? Is the team good? If you're playing free to play, build your raid teams. This is the newest one. Build this team. It is not a question of whether or not the team is good or not. Its availability and the way it's going to slot into the rest of the content is going to help you generate resources. And as a free-to-play player, that's something that, again, we're not going to pay for. So we need to generate our own resources to keep our account powered up. On the free-to-play side, keep in mind, that team helps us in the Spider-Man Tower event and helps us in the Breaker Scorpion event. It's going to help us to get stronger versions of the named characters that we had before, Kingo and Scorpion Breaker. In addition, they are needed for the final 2 nodes of the Trepidation raid. And once again, raids is how you pump up your resources. So we can see here the possible rewards. We see the different color orbs there. Those for the different types of gear that you can get. So the higher the difficulty, we're doing this at difficulty 5, but if I get the team strong enough to do it at some of the maximum difficulty, like 8, 9, or 10, then I can get up into that crimson level of gear. This is something that is completely in my control. If I invest in that team, then they will allow me to every day get more of this gear that I can use to put that into other characters to make those teams stronger. Do not skip out on raid teams free to play. Again, there's a lot of gurus and stuff that say that you should. I'm telling you that I don't have the problems with resources that the other people have. This is one of the reasons why you must invest in your raid teams, especially when they're new and fresh. You have an opportunity to get them strong and get maximum rewards for a longer period of time. As you can see, we're probably in the same boat. I don't have Rachel Cole built. I don't have Spider-Woman built. That'll change, right? So these characters will in some way, shape, or form be coming out free to play for the month of August. Probably another one of those battle passes, probably in some more just random events. We'll get the characters, rest assured, and then we'll be able to build them from there. However, I would not advise you to try to build this team and the Symbiote team at the same time. Hulk, Spider-Man, and Spider-Woman all take bio gear. The majority of the symbiotes all take that same type of gear, and you'll be competing for it between those two teams. You probably will not have enough at this point. So just invest in the newer team. The raid team, like we said, is going to be able to give you those resources back, but it's going to take some time. Another thing that's kind of new this year has to do with the new legendary characters. So in this case, we have Scorpion Breaker. He's a legendary character, and he is on his own team, the Dread team. Now, the Dread team is not something that we should build if we are a free-to-play player. Keep in mind, once again, we can only build 5 characters a month. If we were to add the Dread team to the team that we already need, the Amazing Avengers, that's 10 characters. That is way outside of what we're able to do. Concerning the teams that go along with our legendary characters right now, this is a new thing. This is very different than how Marvel Strike Force has been in the past. Let's start here with Old Man Logan. So 2 years ago, the way legendary characters worked was quite different than they do right now. Old Man Logan was assigned a team, the Mercs for Money team. The team was good. It was built around him as the engine of the team, so he was strong, and adding him to this team just made it absolutely ridiculous. This team was part of our everyday use. We were expected to have this team and use it in the normal content. The legendary characters for last year did something a little bit different. So here was the first legendary character of last year, and that is Quasar. Now, Quasar does not officially have a team, not in the same way that previous legendary characters do. He is considered to be on this team called the Galactic Council, and then we have Quasar, Blastar, and Thunderstrike, which are the legendary characters of last year. So they kind of just made their own kind of thing, but it's not a team in the same way that you saw with Old Man Logan. This is kind of a last minute addition. It's just a way to kind of use these characters together if you so desired. But again, especially Quasar, the character is designed to be used on its own. There is really no team involved in their use. But now this year, we have these Breaker characters. The Breakers are the legendary characters for this year in the Age of Fear. So when it comes to Breaker Silver Surfer, who's on the Omen team, and Breaker Scorpion, who has the Dread team, we need to keep in mind, once again, that these teams are not for us as free-to-play players. They're an extra grouping of characters that we cannot afford free-to-play. Once again, 5 characters is what we can build in a month. 10 characters, if you add this team like the Dread team, that's way beyond what we're able to do for free. If we want to get technical, the amount of characters we can actually build every month is 5.5. So between the span of 2 months, we can build 2 standard teams and one of these legendary characters, in this case, Scorpion Breaker. So that brings us then to the Timeless Eternals. Again, Kingo here is a special character. As you see, I do have him unlocked, but I don't have him built yet. We need to be careful with our resources. On my main account, he's the only thing I have left to do. So I built him, but on this account, I'm still working on those Amazing Avengers. I need to make sure I'm powering up that character first in the form of Hulk and some of the other characters. So I don't want to run out of resources and start building the Timeless Eternal team. So for example, the characters that are available right now on the free-to-play side, depending on when you're watching this, are simply going to be Kingo, Cersei, and Icarus. Gilgamesh will be available for sale we're going to have to wait for his free to play release. What can happen is we can get sidetracked and start building up these characters before we build the characters that are most important. And right now, more than likely, that's going to be the Amazing Avengers. And that's how we run out of resources. We're trying to build too many characters. So if we were trying to build the 3 Timeless Eternal characters that are available and the 3 Amazing Avenger characters available, that's 6 characters. So that might be a little bit above what we have resource-wise, especially if you throw in the Scorpion Breaker character. So I'm going to work on my Avengers first, then we'll pivot back over to the Timeless Eternals. One thing we do want to mention is in the case of Cersei and Icarus, if you go to find, there is an incursion node for you to get those red stars. I mean, it's a roll of the dice. There's no guarantee. But as you did indeed see on the account, we had red stars for Icarus. I don't have them yet for Cersei. We're just going to keep rolling the dice to see if we can get those. Then I won't have to spend those resources to get those red stars later if we don't have them already. So long story short, what we want to be doing is working on these special events. Make sure we get our Kingo out of the Spider-Man Tower, finish off the Danger Room just to get the extra stuff that goes along with that, and make sure we unlock our Scorpion Breaker character with his Scourge event. We're probably working somewhere between our Symbiote 6 characters and our Amazing Avengers characters. I have my Symbiote 6 characters built as far as I'm going to go. I was thinking about bringing them all up to level 100 there, like we see with the Quicksilver Symbiote, and working on the rest of those characters. But as we said, there's a crossover in the amount of gear that we need. So I can't really do that. I'm just going to pivot then over to the Amazing Avengers. You see the Hulk there. He's the lowest. I'm going to bring him up to level 100. We're going to bring Spider-Man Blade up to level 100 since we made it there. And they're a raid team. They're going to be able to give me back those resources over time, and I'll be able to use that with other characters. I'm probably just going to hold and see what happens regarding Rachel Cole and Spider-Woman, because we're going to need to figure out how those characters are going to be unlocked and get them powered up. Then we'll switch over to the Timeless Eternals. We'll start trying to farm Icarus and Cersei. We can do that right now, free to play, right? If there's on a node or they're in the shop store, we can get their character shards. We can do that. We don't have to build the characters up to do that. We can just farm those shards to get those moving forward. And again, after the Amazing Avengers are finished, then I'll pivot up to the Timeless Eternals and start working on them. One small point, we have indeed, as we feared, run out of shop credits. So I need to be considerate of maybe not going after the gear that I need. It's more important to get the character shards, to get the characters powered up. So I might have to put the brakes. I should probably put the brakes on the gear and just rely on getting what we need from the orbs. Once again, that means that we want our raid team to be as strong as possible. That way we get more orbs and we're able to use that to put into gear, hopefully, and use our shop credits now for character unlocks. Now that we're at level 100, right, the gear that we need will be extraordinarily expensive. We simply don't have enough of it as far as the shop credits are concerned. So if we have a choice between the two, I would think that we should go after the character shards. That's something we can control to make our characters stronger. Gear definitely makes characters stronger, but star levels do as well. So my plan then is to work on the Incredible Hulk, the rest of the Amazing Avengers. That's what we're going to be doing. We'll try to get back next week. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you're working on. Do you think that this is a sound plan? Do you have enough resources to get things done? We do have our economy information all set. We just have to make that video now. There is enough stuff in the economy for you to build your characters up to level 105 at max level and build those 5 characters every month. Ignore the noise. This game is definitely 100% free to play friendly. And if you haven't seen this video up here, please check it out. It's legit.